I'm Chris Dow from the band Within Reason. You're sitting with us in our bus and rocking with the OKC Edge. Chris Dow, lead singer. I mean, we've only been here for about an hour and a half or 2 hours. And, you know, we played here before. We did most recently the Uproar Festival. I guess it was about a year ago we did that. But played a pretty cool venue. It was the Zoo. Is that what it's called?
The Zoo Amp?
Yeah, the Zoo Amp. Played there, and then we've only played one more time, though, in Oklahoma City, which is kind of weird, because most of the cities, I feel like on this tour, we've been to several of them, you know, numerous occasions, and have a lot more fans, I feel like, than the ones we haven't frequented like this one. So, looking forward to see how tonight is. But I know it's Hinder's hometown, so it should be a killer show.
Yeah.
I think pre-sale's really good, too. So.
Everything?
They've been really cool. Yeah.
Yeah, we've been lucky to play with a lot of super cool bands, and Hinder's just another one of them. It's just a good time.
Yeah, I think that the bands, like, you know, at their level, and, you know, so we just toured with Seether and Godsmack, and it's like, I feel like all these artists, they didn't just get there, they got there because they're professionals, and, you know, at that level, most of them, they get where we are in our career, too, because they've all done it, you know, and so they respect that, and they really are accommodating to us a lot more than I think. They're all really cool, but for us, I guess the biggest thing is that we like their music too, you know, I mean, because we're consumers of music too, so a lot of the musicians that we tour with are ones that we've been inspired by in the music that we write, so once we kind of get to the point where we've been around them enough and it's, you know, we're all hanging out, that's kind of surreal sometimes, but yeah, I'd probably say Seether, and, but Pop Evil though, I mean, they're more like brothers because we've known them for so long. So
yeah, that's one of those bands. You listen to their set every night when you tour with them, you still enjoy it. You just make time to hear it every single night.
Yeah, they always sound really good live too, and it's just raw, great songwriting and musicianship all the way around. But even vocally, Sean's always, you know, very consistent. Well, originally, this tour was supposed to be in November and December with Hinder, so our plan was to go in the studio in January, and then when they had their bus accident, this got moved back, so that really threw a curveball at us as far as touring and recording and trying to juggle it all and fit it in. So our plan is right now, as soon as this tour's over, we're going to take 1 week off, go home and kind of recharge for a few days and, you know, see family members or whatever, and then looks like we may be in the studio the last week of February to go ahead and finish first half of the record, and then we'll do some more touring in March, and then hopefully record the second half of the record in April. So the single will go to radio as soon as possible, probably late March, and then the plan is to have that going at radio while we're finishing the artwork and manufacturing for the actual hard disk and stuff, to probably do a release 1st of June. So we know the first half of the record we already have 5 songs, so we know that the second half we're gonna try to finish 5 more if we can, do a full-length record. But there'll definitely be more than there was in the last record, because we've already got that. Some of it's been like, we had a couple things we just talk about, like as musicians and even as people, that we just feel like we've been on the battlefield, because it's just such a struggle to do things independently, and, you know, you have to give up so much of family time and just regular life that other people enjoy that have regular jobs, and so we've had to give up so much that we right now a lot of the lyrical content is kind of revolved around the battlefields in like life, love, and war, you know. And so we thought about that being like a concept for the records, like battlefields and life, love, and war. So it seems like that's kind of the direction we're going at this point. It's always different.
Yeah, we all approach it slightly differently. I normally start with a guitar riff, and then I'll either have a melody over that, or I'll toss in the riff, and, you know, we'll see what he does with it melody-wise. Or sometimes David will have just a concept as a story that he wants to introduce, and let's try to come up with music to that. I mean, just depends upon who has the spark. We can go from there.
Yeah, I think all of us though would agree that we think melody is most important when you're trying to write a song. Because if we don't have the melody there, we wouldn't continue with that song or that piece. We would never finish it. We hear a lot of artists say that they write a ton of songs and they eliminate a bunch, and then they only that they keep for the record or whatever. I feel like if we're excited enough about a melody, then it's something that we're going to finish the full product and keep it. Then it's something that we're going with. I guess if the melody wasn't there, we just wouldn't finish the song. But I think lyrics are super important too. I'm not saying that they're not. We always say though that like if we were driving down the road right now, we turn on a song on the radio, and whether people realize it or not, if the melody doesn't catch you, then you're like, song sucks. You just change the channel, you go on to the next song. So technically you'd never really have the opportunity to even hear the full story of the lyrical content anyway. They don't even realize that though, they just go on to the next one, But if the melody's there, then you'd probably take the time to listen to it over and over so you can really let that story sit for a minute, Then you can actually appreciate the lyrics. Yeah, I mean, we used to do a lot more on Facebook, and we still, I guess, put up the same amount of work on our end, but Facebook restricts everything you do as a business because we are a business and we're a band, so they restrict a lot of that more so than they do on like personal pages. So we've really gotten a lot more into Instagram, and we need to do Snapchat more. That seems to be what everybody loves the most right now, but we really kind of just trend towards what all of our fans do the most, because if we know that our fans are more interactive on Instagram, then we like to get more active on that too, because we want to give them as much as we can of who we are as people and more content and stuff daily as we can. That's how we're built, and that's how we move daily by the fans, So